Another day, another stream. Oh well. Just gotta do what I have to do. Be consistent. Guess we're gonna watch this. Let's see.
Hey, I'm Jay the Dev Guy, and let me know if this sounds familiar. You're an aspiring artist and you're working on your passion project. You're working alone, obviously. Maybe a few of your friends know about it, but you don't mention it much because, not a lot has changed since they last saw it anyways, and you certainly don't post about it online because, look at it. It's clearly not ready for the internet yet. But it's an idea you're really excited about, and you quietly work on it every chance you get. You watch tutorials during lunch, you listen to lectures from your idols, and you decline invitations from your friends because you need all the time you can to work. And things are good. You've had passion projects before, and you don't need me to remind you about the graveyard of abandoned projects sitting beneath your feet. All their corpses died ugly, their skeletons remain unfinished, and their ghosts haunt you every time you start to wonder if this current project will meet the same fate. But this one's different. It's a really, really good idea this time, and you promised yourself it wouldn't scale up out of control. It just needs more work before it's ready to be shown off. So you spend months working on it. Your skills do improve, but not enough to make the thing worth showing. And you're smart enough to know that that's not just the ghosts talking. It really, genuinely still isn't ready for the world. And so a year goes by, and you gave it everything you have. You spent every free minute you had after work. You refused any media that you couldn't count as studying for your project. And you started to resent being invited out by people because they should know that you need that time for your project. And so you take an honest look and you see your project for what it is. Another dead project whose heartbeat stopped months ago and whose spirit is long gone. It's ready to be buried in your graveyard of abandoned ideas, and you wonder if you can even call yourself an artist if you've literally never created anything that another person can see or touch or feel. And if after all this time you're not an artist, then what are you? So, yeah, that's how I spent the first, 26 years of my life, and it sucked. And what sucks more is that it totally did not need to be that way. And in this video, I'm going to tell you how this dinky little YouTube channel changed everything for me as an artist. So after yet another dead passion project, I realized that between working a full-time job, having a partner, doing, all the life stuff a person is supposed to do, and having a part-time job, that I really didn't have time for these game development projects I kept abandoning. I knew that what I should have done was pivot to smaller games I could actually finish as a hobbyist solo dev, but I failed every time I tried that too, so I just said screw game development. I've always loved YouTube. Maybe I can talk about everything I've learned while piling up this graveyard of abandoned projects, and that can just be a video. And at first, this channel started exactly like all my game dev projects did. I spent more time thinking about my ideas than working on them.
Give me 1 second. I need to rethink this a bit. Let's see. Oh, I'll change it to that one then. Since I don't know. I don't really know. Yeah, that suits.
I tried to learn too many new programs at once, and it was quickly becoming way bigger than it should have been. But eventually, after picking a video idea, recording the voiceover, stumbling my way through animating in Blender, and re-recording the voiceover, I did have something. Now, this something wasn't good. The problem with thinking your work sucks is that you're not always wrong. The script was all over the place, the audio was bad for reasons I could never figure out, and the animation was this. I'm sure some of you wouldn't consider this animation terrible, but my background was in animation, so this was supposed to be the part that I was good at. But I think telling
Maybe I
myself
should learn
that my
how to
own
draw.
work was beneath me,
Oh god.
even though I know I tried my best at it, was really just an excuse to redo it endlessly. And I'd keep redoing it until it hit some standard that I kept proving that I couldn't reach. Like you're not a temporarily embarrassed 8 out of 10 animator, man. Look at your work. If you keep making 6 out of 10s, you gotta just accept that your skills are a 6 out of 10 and, move on. But I did eventually finish the video, and even if it was just a 6 out of 10, and even if I was tempted to redo the whole thing every single time I looked at it, it was finished. And something about this project being just a YouTube video, it made it a lot easier to just post it. So, on July 16th, 2023, I uploaded my first YouTube video.
A year and a half ago.
And I made my first footprint as a digital artist online. After spending so long working by myself, I hated the fact that the first work I published online was a 6 out of 10 in my eyes. Let me tell you, after spending 26 years giving it everything I had, the fact that it amounted to nothing but this, it was crushing. But it stayed online, and then something happened. The video didn't blow up or anything. It barely cracked triple-digit views, and it certainly didn't make any money. But what happened was, I guess nothing happened.
Nothing happened. Yeah.
I released 6 out of 10 work, and everything was fine. And don't get me wrong here. I had obsessively read art advice for well over a decade at that point. And I was well aware that most successful artists will tell you the same exact thing. Start your project small, and finishing work is a skill that you need to learn, and endlessly tweaking the same thing. It doesn't make you Stanley Kubrick, it makes you George Lucas. And I knew all of that. And chances are, if you're watching a video like this from a small channel like me, you know all of that too. This is not going to be another video parroting all of that advice you've already heard. And it's good advice, but I didn't need to know that advice. I needed to feel that advice. What posting this 6 out of 10 video did was finally, for the first time in my entire life, truly feel what it was like to finish something. This meant that I got the primal joy of making something that another human can experience and, maybe even like. All those years I spent alone working thanklessly on my passion projects wasn't just like a bad strategy that I knew was suboptimal for my artistic growth. It was robbing me of those precious feelings that can motivate us to finish art in the first place. I was starving myself from the pride of accomplishment. I isolated myself from others who could have praised all my hard work, and I denied myself any feeling other than endless guilt that I wasn't finished yet. And okay, quick aside while I'm here, I think artists get way too preoccupied worrying about doing things purely for themselves. Now that I've experienced it, it's insane that we all deny how good it feels to have someone else validate your effort or like your work. I mean, obviously making things for others can be taken too far, but I find striking this balance between doing things for myself and others pretty easy. Just make stuff that you yourself would enjoy consuming, and you'll end up with a like-minded audience while staying true to making the stuff that you like. And man, after my first video was posted, way too preoccupied worrying about doing things purely for themselves. Now that I've experienced it, it's insane that we all deny how good it feels to have someone else validate your effort or
Oh wow. Mm.
like your work. I mean, obviously making things for others can be taken too far, but I find striking this balance between doing things for myself and others pretty easy. Just make stuff that you yourself would enjoy consuming, and you'll end up with a like-minded audience while staying true to making the stuff that you like. And man, after my first video was posted, I felt a rush of motivation unlike anything that I could have produced by myself. Even though the views were low and the comments were few, I became addicted to the high that finishing something gives. And all this new energy I got was channeled into exactly one thing: making the second video, and making it better than the first. So sure enough, publishing my second video had exactly the same effects. And after making my third, fourth, fifth, and now 8th video, even if the novelty wears off, I am so much further along now than I would have been had I stayed redoing my first one like I wanted to. And one of the coolest things was that putting my work out there let me participate in the art community. Like, I was invited to the 3D Gang, which is a group of animators making, seriously, some of the craziest stuff on the website, which they mostly use to torture Jay Schlatt.
What is this actual effort being put in? How do you even make this?
But having these peers created so many other feelings that I had denied myself for way too long. You know, I made friends that could relate to the unique problems that my work was giving me. I felt so much pride when I saw a mutual skyrocket to success. And I was motivated to work harder than ever when I was surrounded by people whose respect I was eager to earn. And when I saw their skills surpassing mine, which happened often, I was driven by a sense of friendly competition that I could never get by working alone. I mean, they're who compelled me to overhaul my style for my 3D tuber video. Indulging myself with these primal feelings and reward mechanisms for art is the best thing that could have happened to it. Some of these people need to chill on their animation though, I mean, jeez, guys. I think YouTube is one of the best places to find that sense of community, and a great way to support those communities is to watch with YouTube Premium, who's sponsoring this video. I genuinely believe that the best content in the world isn't on TV and isn't on streaming services. The best stuff is here on YouTube. Premium gets rid of mid-roll and banner ads, but shares its subscription fee with the channels you watch, so you still get to support your favorite creators while enjoying an uninterrupted experience. Premium also includes YouTube Music, so it basically bundles an entire music streaming service on top of supporting the best video content you can find online, so I think it's the only paid media subscription you'd ever need. Signing up using the link in the description will get you a 2-month free trial of YouTube Premium instead of the usual one, and I may earn a small commission, which helps support this channel and the games I'm making. So check it out if that interests you. All that being said, I'm not saying to succeed in art or game development, you have to go start a YouTube channel. My point is that by sitting alone and keeping all of your art to yourself, you're robbing yourself of the primal human feelings that naturally encourage creation. And again, you may know that it's good advice to start small, fail faster, and avoid imperfection, but I'm begging you to feel it for yourself if you haven't already. I definitely don't want this video to come off as too bootstrappy. Even if you manage to post online, it's still really, really hard to hustle your way out of all the crap that makes creation so difficult. I mean, I still haven't. I'm doing everything you see here in between a full-time job, relationship, and normal life stuff, and it's crazy to me that people pull this off who have it a lot harder than I do. But what I do want for this video to be is advice for my former self. You know, I was already spending the time working on my creative projects, but if I had known how rewarding the feelings that I kept denying myself were, I'd just be a lot better off artistically now. And I want to be clear here, you shouldn't just finish stuff for the warm and fuzzy feelings. The advice is good advice because it actually works. I feel better now, sure, but my art has also skyrocketed in quality as a result. My rule for myself right now is that when something is an 8 out of 10, it's ready to be released. And the irony is that my 8 out of 10 now is so much better than my original 10 out of 10 ever would have been had I held back and redone my work like I was tempted to. And now that I reward my monkey brain with the positive feelings of creation, it has become so much easier to sit down, focus on my work, and improve. You know, chasing that 10 out of 10, it's endless. Releasing an 8 out of 10 lets me be proud of my art without tying me down to all the old work I've since outgrown. And for me at least, I'd rather have a catalog of 8s than a brain full of 10s. I spent plenty of time living that way, and this is just so much better. And without a doubt, the most rewarding part of putting myself online has been interacting with fans. I draw these profile pictures for certain tiers of my Patreon, and it led me to the biggest realization of my career so far. You know, I got paid to draw someone's persona. And drawing a persona is like a pivotal stepping stone in a digital artist's career. So I realized, what if I could use this paid Patreon tier to speedrun career milestones as fast as possible? So I'm very happy to update you on the Jay the Dev Guy Art Commission Bingo. The plan was that if I can get a bingo on this card from Patreon art commissions, I'm guaranteed a prosperous art career. So I made this free spot in the middle, which is a fursona, obviously, and I was really banking on this left column with Sonic OCs and Rule 63. Let's see how filling it out has gone since the last video. I've got Ring Around Me's, Sylveon's, and Voxel Floof's fursonas. Sylveon and Vox's are Roblox skins, so we'll put them over here and leave Ring Around Me's in the middle. French Fry Addict commissioned this KK slider for
That's really cool. So early to start posting about your art. No such thing when you don't have a stable following yet. Posted my first video of Osher Kill the same day I started working on it. But keeping that steady, gradual build and push is what got any eyes on the project. So when it finally did become what people would generally call good enough to show, there actually were people to see it. Well, I don't know if anybody would see my work, but I miss Race Carb, I miss Look. Yeah. Ah. Very cool. I'm not an artist. I build stuff, I break stuff using software. And I don't know how I would create animation. Used to edit. Used to try to make 3D. Used to try to make games. All of which didn't quite work out. I wonder how I would make an animation studio. But I want to. I need to. So either I don't do it or I don't. It's been a long time since I've been in a game. I guess I just yeah. That's cool. Oh well. Back to work, I guess. Gotta make it work somehow. Gotta make it work. I guess. Wait, YouTube is not. Oh, how do I fix that? Uh, Stream bitrate. Can you adjust that? You got output. I don't know. YouTube is not. Hmm. Is there any way I can fix that? I got output. Let's see. So I got settings, output, and I need to adjust it. This is streaming. Oh, okay. What about recording? Recording cannot be paused. Quality is same to set a stream. Okay. Can I adjust this? Let's change it to the streaming videos, which is open. 3,000? 4, 5, 5, 6. Recording cannot be paused. I set it to this one then. See if that changes anything. Maybe I need to restart my stream. Maybe. Stats. Yeah, I think that works. I think so. Yeah. Okay. And then on here, it's it is. Oh, do I need to enable this? I have no idea. Wonder if I need to restart. Maybe.